I'm ready. Good day, everyone. This is the May edition of the Prime Consolidate Political Program. I am Additional Reoluwa and I will be anchoring this program for today. As you all know, since the discovery of Nigerian oil in 1956, it has been a great deal for the government for the development of the Nigerian economy. But of recent, the fall in the price of oil has hit the Nigerian economy hard. This is where, are we trying to say there are no other sectors the government can look into? This is where the topic of this program comes in. Nigerians' economic future, agriculture or technology? That's why I have here with me this afternoon Mr. Bayo Falade,
Good afternoon.
who will be shedding more light into the agricultural sector and how it can stand in for the oil and gas sector. And on the other hand, I have with me Mr. Ayola Tolulokpe, who will also be shedding more light into the technology sector and how it can stand in for the oil and gas sector. Welcome, Mr. Bayo Falade, and
Good
welcome,
afternoon.
Mr. Ayola Tolulokpe. My first question goes to Mr. Bayo Falade. What is the situation of agriculture in the country and reasons why you think it has not been efficiently functioning well in the country?
Well, looking at agriculture in Nigeria, we can discover that in the agricultural setting, we have 70% of Nigerians who are involved in agriculture. But when you hear that, it seems to sound as if we are deeply rooted into agriculture, like we are making a lot of money. But no, most of these people, they do it for subsistence purpose. For example, now in Nigeria, we have cattle ranches, poultry, and fishery that are functioning for now, but people have not really gone into agriculture. And concerning your second question, the second aspect of the question, saying that what are the things limiting the performance of agricultural sector in Nigeria? The first thing I would like to say is corruption. For example, if we notice, like, our leaders deposit money into foreign account, they loot money that is meant for the country for their own personal use, which is not good enough.
Sorry to cut in, Mr. Bayo Falade. So what you are trying to tell me now is that even if the agricultural sector is the #1 sector leading in Nigeria, all these political leaders will still corrupt. They will still be corrupt.
I don't get the question.
Won't they still be corrupt? What if it is the agricultural sector that
Well,
is
it
leading?
depends on how well the people can fight and make their point known that no, we want the agricultural sector to boom. And the leaders too, they have to have a renewal of their mind. They have to change their mind towards the thing of the public. And to say, how can I put it? Yeah, if we discover most of the money, even the oil and gas that is the mainstay of our economy for now, we get to discover that this oil and gas, we accrue a lot of money from that sector, and this money can actually even develop like 2 or 3 other sectors, including the agricultural sector. Another thing that I think is not making our agricultural sector to function efficiently is that this is a problem with we Nigerians now. We rely on imports more than exports. Like, most people don't even patronize our own local rice. Then how does the agricultural sector tend to be encouraged to produce rice?
What if the local rice is not good enough for them to eat?
Well, Rome was not built in a day. They have to, like I said, it's a process. We have to keep working towards perfection till our own rice becomes of standard.
Okay.
And another point that I think that is limiting our agricultural the performance of our agricultural sector is that much money hasn't been pumped into that sector. Like, the agricultural sector only takes minute share of the total budget of the country. So what I think will be good if the federal government looks at that aspect and then try to accrue more money to the agricultural sector.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bayo Falade. Mr. Ayola Tolulokpe, what is the situation of technology in the country and why do you think it has not been efficiently functioning well in the country?
Thank you very much. My opinion is, first of all, we have to first see, is technology a sector or a factor? I want to say that technology is both a factor and a sector. And the reason why it's been really bad, because it is really bad and very poor. Because in this country, the reason why we are rated as a third world country is because our technology is very bad. And in the world today, leading countries with leading technologies are the one that are called the first countries, are the one that are classified as the first countries that are in great state, and they are the ones with the best economy. And the reasons and the reason why we have bad economy, the factors affecting technology, is because of a lot of things. Like Mr. Bayo Falade said, corruption affects everything. Bad leadership, it is something that affects an economy bigly. And in technology, technology as per se, it cuts throughout the world. It cuts through everything. It comes in different forms. It comes in medical form, it comes in constructive form, transportation, and security. Imagine failing in all these things. If we fail in technology, we are failing in all these things, and we are not going to be moving forward if we cannot consider technology as a factor that is necessary. So we first have to recognize it as a necessary factor, because when the topic was brought to my table, I did a minimum census that I asked 20 people about what's the real problem. I asked them on the topic that which one is the way forward. Everybody said agriculture, 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 but they didn't actually know what technology was, because technology is everything. It's like a factor of production, like land, entrepreneur, capital. So technology is like a big factor of production. Thank you very much.
So, Mr. Ayola Tolulope, are you telling me that technology can work alone or it has to work alongside something?
Technology is everything. You first have to see technology as everything. It's like I said, a factor of production. The moment you see, okay, land is necessary for everything, then technology too is also necessary for everything. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So my second question goes to you first. Why should the technology sector be an alternative to the oil and gas sector?
Yeah, for me, I want to put technology as the big faculty of the University of Life. Technology is like a way of life, because if you look at the history of technology, technology came from those cruel tools that's making life easy. Because what makes life easy is what they call technology, mechanization, invention of tools. That is the basics of technology. And I tell you, technology is moving fast every day. It's moving forward every day. And if we don't try to catch up, my dear, we'll be far back. If we try and focus on other things first, the moment we start focusing on technology, every other thing is benefiting, even agriculture, even medical sector, even the fine cars we want to ride, the clothes you want to wear, the food you want to eat. Technology is the one processing everything nowadays. Like Mr. Bayo said, he said, so, like you asked the question, he said some people don't prefer to eat local rice. It's because it's not processed. It's not well processed. Imagine a situation where rice is well processed. You would buy it. You would want to eat it because it's going to be fine. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ayola Tolulope. Mr. Bayo Falade, why should the agricultural sector be an alternative to the oil and gas sector?
Well, for me, how will you say, number one, looking at other nations, like the likes of the developed world, that's China, US, and other top countries we know. If you look at their development background, agriculture is one of it. And even some West African nations that are with Nigeria, we notice that they developed through agriculture. So what I would like to okay, let me give you an example now. Even China, that is the tech giant of the world currently, you notice that they reserve like 50% of their land for agriculture, and even like 18% of their GDP is from agriculture, and also they have 50% employment opportunity generated from this same agriculture. So I feel if Nigeria can take that way too, they should be able to develop. And again, because I'm a political student, so I might have to like use this term. Looking at the stages of development, Rostos stages of development, one of the phase is agriculture, agrarian agriculture. People have to, before you can move to the next stage, you have to develop in one stage fully. So that's one of it. Another reason why we consider agriculture as the alternative to oil and gas sector is that it will create more employment opportunities. For example, now agriculture is split it into different departments. We have the production aspect of it, marketing, distribution. So even Nigerians, it generates job for Nigerians, both the aged and the young people. So that's what I feel concerning that. And also agriculture, when we develop our agriculture, it will attract foreign investors, and these foreign investors will even we even create industries in Nigeria, which even generate employment opportunities for Nigerian, and also it will serve as a source of revenue, not to only us, to the government, everybody, and things will be going fine.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bayo Falade. So my third question goes to you first. What advice can you give to the government on how the agricultural sector can be improved in the country?
Well, the first thing I would like to say is that, number one, we should fix the right peg in the right toe. You can't tell me that you study fine arts in university and you become Minister of Agriculture. That's not done. There is fault in our institutions. People that don't know anything about agriculture, they tend to employ them into the agricultural sector, which is not meant to be done. And even these guys in the agricultural sector, they don't even possess basic knowledge of agriculture. If you ask them what's the pH of a soil texture, what requirement does a plant have to need to grow, and all, they don't know all these basic things and all, and they don't even have the marketing strategy. So we should not appoint people into sectors based on personal connection. It should be based on merit. That's my first point. And also, what I feel is we should build our research institutes, which the government should take time, get enough money, pump it into research institutes. I even had some research institutes, they have poor management skills. They only do the theoretical aspect. They only learn. They don't even practice what they are learning. So the federal government should try, and because the state government also has power over agriculture, so they should try to pump money into our research institutes, build them, and make them a formidable force that will, bring about development. And another thing I feel is proper irrigation system. Well, to water plants and all, we need to have a proper irrigation system. And most people that are practicing agriculture, they mostly depend on rainfall. They should look for other channels, dams, and other source of water that they can use to generate and all. And
sorry to cut in. Can you please elaborate on that, your third point, please?
Well, I said they should try to look for a proper irrigation system. When you are cultivating a plant, you need constant watering, and most of these people depend on rainfall. So they should look for a proper irrigation. It could be dam, streams, look for sources of water, and all. And even in Israel, they depend on River Jordan for their watering and for their irrigation system. So we could also consider things like that. And also, like I said earlier, the federal government or state government, they should pump more money into the agricultural sector. Like budgetary allocation should be okay for the agricultural sector. They should pump more money into the agricultural sector and see whether it will yield or not.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bayo Falade. Mr. Ayola Tolulokpe, what advice can you give to the government on how the technology sector can be improved in the country?
I'll be giving an advice both to the government and the citizens. The thing is, you first have to recognize technology as a sector and a factor first. The thing is, it being cutting out all through the sectors, would we abandon all other sectors? What should happen to the medical sector if we don't project more on our technology? What should happen to our transportation system? What should happen to our telecommunication?
Sorry to cut in. So are you trying to say that all these agriculture, all these places that you are mentioning, is it that technology is not in place at all, or it is not enough?
It is lacking. It is not enough. It is not efficient. It's not that we don't have. We have medical sector, but it is very bad. Have you ever been to an hospital before? Then, with technology, we are moving to the next world. Technology is the future. I want us to first recognize it. The moment we recognize it, we have leaders with visions and purpose, and we adopt the right technology. Because I don't expect Nigerians sending people to Mars or space nest. But the thing is, you first have to know which technology do you need first? Agricultural technology is part of the technology you need first. Good. But because we all need good food. But the thing is, have you ever checked the amount of imports we do in this country? We import more cars than we import food. We spend more money on cars than we spend on food. We spend more money on telecommunications than we spend on food. The thing is, in this world, a lot of people are doing with less food. Food is something that is like a constant, but it's not the main equation. It's not the real problem we have. Not that we have food scarcity in Nigeria. It is food security we don't have. The thing is, we need to work more hard on our technology. We need to progress. We need to adopt systems. Like we spend more money on our researches. Like you take this, what they call copy and check.
Mr. Ayola Tolokpe, what can you also say about the government looking into the mining sector too?
Yes, that is what technology is about too. Technology develops everything. Technology develops like everything, every sector. Every sector is tied with technology. Technology is like a lifestyle. It's like, I won't call it like a religion, but you know, there's no way we can live without God. Then when God has created land, it made it so abundant for everybody. Then what other things comes after you? People want more. People want more every day. We want more technology. We want faster phones, smaller phones. We have fine cars. We want smaller cars. We don't want them too big. We don't want them too small. Imagine there was this article that was published in 2018. They said, without technology, we will still be going around naked. Technology was the one that provided us clothes. So imagine without technology. Technology is like you catching a fish with your hand. Without technology, that's living a life without technology. Catching a fish with your hands. And if you want to catch a fish with your hand, you barely feed yourself, not to talk of your family, not to talk of your own nation. Thank you very much.
So, Mr. Abayo Falade, is there something you can say about the mining sector concerning the agricultural sector too?
Well, personally, yeah, I feel the mining sector is something we should look into too. Because I even heard of recent that the Chinese, they do come to Nigeria, they invest here, they, mine and all, and take those extra, they take it back to their country. Whereas our government, they agree to all these things. Why can't we just, devise a means, have a mining industry of our own, create our own wealth, and get our money, build our economy? Because gold is a very, let me say, precious substance, very vital substance. I know how much they value the Indians, the Chinese, they value gold a lot, these foreign people. So why can't we just, extract it here, process it, and sell it abroad? It will serve as a source of not only a foreign exchange, but big money, like quite a reasonable amount of money into our economy. And from there, we can even develop other sectors, and the giant sector, which is the agriculture too. So that's what I feel. And Mr. Tolu said something concerning, technology being the the biggest sector. Well, I will disagree with that because, for example, now this clothes you are wearing, it was gotten from cotton, which is an agricultural product. So without this agricultural product, I don't think there's nothing. There's something the tech people will work on. So that's what I feel.
There's this one particular advice I still wanted to give to the government. Is it like they should eradicate the oil and gas totally, or they should make the oil and gas efficient and the agricultural sector too efficient, like in the same rate?
Well, what I feel basically, it's not as if we can't diversify, but we should try to build one to a very, formidable extent.
If you are saying we should try to build one, they've built the oil and gas already.
Yes.
And it later broke down because of the fall in the price. So what if there is actually a breakdown also in the agricultural sector when they try to build it?
They can never be, sorry to say, they can never be a breakdown in the agricultural sector because there is a global demand for food. People are eating every day. You can't do without food. You can't tell me you've not eaten this morning, because food is essence, food is life. If we don't eat, there is no guarantee for sustenance. So we have to eat. The agricultural sector, I can say it anywhere, can never break down.
Mr. Ayola Tolulokpe, what can you say about the advice for the government to, like, pertaining the oil and gas and the technology sector?
My opinion and my advice is technology has to do with everything. Mr. Bayos made mention of something, that your clothes was made of cotton. My brother, the extraction of that cotton has to do with technology. Did you know? The thing is, technology has gone far wide from eating, or just imagine, how did you process food in the first place? Did you just pluck it and eat it direct? The reason why we have food processing is because of technology itself. Technology came back from way, like, we using cutlasses, we making cutlasses in the first place. Invention of tools. Just imagine what just imagine what yam will go through before it comes to amala. You dry it, you pound it, you grind it into flour, then you mix it with fire. All these things has to do with technology. They are not things that we can just leave aside. The thing is, the reason why we are in this place in the first place is because this country has made oil like a mono economy. They spend so much on it, they focus all their energy on it. Imagine we focus on agriculture and it fails also. People will keep on eating, quite right. But you cannot eat more than your stomach. But I tell you, you can buy 5 cars if you have the money. See, one thing I understand is people do more. People want more than just eating and just living life. People want to fly around the world. People want to fly around the world faster. People want to even teleport, I tell you. They want to just come from here like, bam, psh. They are in London. See, I love sport. I love sport a lot, especially football. See, without technology, we wouldn't even be able to watch them in the first place. And I tell you, even entertainment is making far more money a lot these days. And we have to improve on technology. Technology, we have to improve on our schools because of technology. The way our children think now is, if you go to school, you make money. Just on English and math, I don't think so. You have to teach them the practical aspect of technology and make them be able to understand that all these things has to do with technology. Technology is like a factor, a necessary factor, please. The thing is, we have to concentrate on this aspect, on this factor a lot, because it's no longer like a sector, it's now like a factor. Because I see that people are ignorant about it, so I think the government should do a lot of sensitization and create more schools, and our university systems are zero, I think. So
Thank you very much, Mr. Ayola Tolulokpe. So, forgetting about the oil and gas sector now,
yes, ma'am.
are you trying to tell me that we have to, as in, are you trying to tell me that the technology sector is very important as the agricultural sector too is important?
Yes, they are both important, but I tell you, technology is bigger. It's like, it's diversified. We don't have to practice mono economy again. So when our agricultural sector fails, we focus on mining. When mining fails, we focus on our health. I tell you, India makes a fortune from health. Do you know how many people travel to India for all these transplants? They just started doing transplants in heart transplant or kidney transplant in UCH not quite long ago. And it's because of our technology that is far back. Imagine when China, Korea, they are far ahead doing neurosurgeries. We are still on transplants. Transplants that some people have been doing far back as early 2000s. So I think when we focus on our technology, we diversify. We go into different sectors at once. Then we'll be able to move faster. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for believing in our vision. I would like to read out comments from Facebook and Instagram to you guys, so that advice you can give to all those ones too. Someone said, I think they should also look into the mining sector too. We talked about that already. And someone also said, I think they should pay less attention to the oil and gas sector, or better still, invest more in agriculture and educational research.
Can I answer? The thing is, like I said before, our educational sector has been really, really bad, and it's not focusing on the right thing to do. When I checked the top 50 universities that focuses on technology. Nigeria didn't have one. I checked top 50 universities in Africa. We had like just very few in Africa itself. So we need to please focus on our educational system, because MIT in Massachusetts, these people have made engineering and technology like a big deal that is not meant for poor people or black men. One thing I just want you to understand is that black men who have brains, and we are moving forward only if we could just accept it as the next thing to do. And I tell you, agriculture it has made a lot of money for everybody, but it hasn't taken people to the next level. Technology is the thing that can take you to the next level. Thank you very much.
So, Mr. Bayo Falade, Obe Jr., he said, to progress as a nation, technology is a major sector to improve on. But I believe before the inception of technology, I believe that people eat food and process food without chemicals and machinery. I think that question is for Mr. Ayola Tolulope.
Yeah. The thing is, people process food. People do it without chemicals. But I tell you, people will process it 5 times faster and more quantity if there is machinery. Just imagine you are cooking. Have you ever seen people have you ever gone to the party whereby they blend yam for pounded yam? It's not actually the same thing, but you're actually eating. You can imagine pounding yam for 1,000 in a party. You have to go through a hell for doing that. But these days, there's what they call Inyoli law. So it has made technology like fascinating. People appreciate it. If you want to still go for your gigun, no problem. Go and pound your yam. But seriously, we can only take what we have to the world with technology. Thank you very much.
So, Mr. Bayo Falade, what do you have to say on that comment by Obe Jr.?
Yeah, is a very good comment. Like before the inception of technology, we've been processing food the normal way without the use of technology. But I would like to draw a point from what Mr. Tolu said. He said technology makes things fly faster, like food production and all. But does he know all these things have side effects? Before we started consuming technology-made foods and all, like all these foods, we noticed that there was less cases of disease like cancer and all. But when they started using chemicals to boost food, you discovered that there are a lot of diseases affecting the people, such as cancer. And even you notice they will grow a day-old chicken within 2 weeks, 1 week, whereas it's meant to go through the natural process. So I don't feel that's the best thing to do. Like, consumption needs to be safe. We have to be guaranteed of our lives. Thank you.
So I have another comment for you on Instagram by Skid DMB. He said, before agricultural aspects can be advanced, we need a proper and prompt technological system.
Yes, it's correct, quite right. But I want to make mention on something where I said cancer. People are making cancer. I did a project in 2019 on something like this, the effects on radio activities on human beings. See, there are preventive measures for everything. And I tell you, if you want to reduce all these things, I see technology has saved more lives than it has killed. Although I wouldn't say it's good to kill, but I tell you, even those local crude ways that you say food was processed, they are still the smallest form of technology. You see, striking stones to each other, it's a form of technology. It's like the simplest technology that ever existed. See, pounding yam is like one of those, what they call it, they are like first set of machines. Load. It applies to all those laws of machines, apply to it, like all these first machines, like lever, fulcrum, and load. It's simple. It's technology. Technology is taking the world to the next place. Thank you very much.
Mr. Bayo Falade, what do you have to say about that?
Concerning Mr. Sleep DMB's post,
Yeah.
please can you say that again?
He said they have to work more on the technological aspects before the agricultural aspects.
Well, it depends. I won't totally agree. Well, it is quite evident that we need machines. We need machines to aid agricultural production and all the likes of this what they call these caterpillars, flour and all. We need them to aid, to make the working process very easy. So what we have to do now is, I'm not saying we should build our technology sector, but we should try to not neglect the fact that we need agriculture. Agriculture should come first. Although there are some agricultural aspects that need technological aid too, so we have to look at that too. But the agricultural sector comes first. We have to build it very strong. Then we can start diversifying and all.
I have another comment for you guys on Facebook by Abayomi Ojo Shegun. He said, "This is a good initiative from you guys. Please kindly let's talk about industrialization of agriculture through technological advancement. Our foods get rotten during peak period or harvest season. Wait. The industries that will process the agricultural products must be encouraged so that we can have reserves and produce wasted."
Thank you very much. The thing is, like I said, technology takes it to the next level. Nigeria is like the largest, like number 5 in the world, like food production. Could you imagine? But it's like 1/10 of what China is producing. Not because of the labor force. It's not because of the labor force. It's because of the technology that is making it advance. And I tell you, technology has to do everything with agric itself. Imagine you plant cocoyam or you plant cassava. Because let me use cassava for example, because I saw an article that said Nigeria is the largest producer of cassava in the whole world. Imagine you produce cassava and it gets stolen away. Or imagine you produce cassava, you don't have transport, which is also technology to bring it down to the market. Imagine you produce cassava and it still remains cassava. You can't blend it, you can't process it. That's why I said technology is everything. It is what takes the country to the next level. It is what takes that crude food, that raw food, to finished product. There's something they call goods and services. There is several services that makes cassava into garri. The person that pounds it, the person that soaks it, the person that dries it, the person that sells it, the person that cooks it for you, that fries it on the fire, on the pan, and comes back to you and say, "This is garri." This is what I'm telling you. What I'm trying to say is, food, raw material of agriculture, any raw material of agriculture or product has to do with processing. That's what they call industrialization. Very, very simple. Technology is industrialization. And industrialization in the world, I'll tell you, Nigeria is ranked number 88 in the world. 88. That's too far back for somebody that is making number 5 in food production. So I think when we spend money, if we can move to number 40, just imagine what we will look like. So the thing is, we just have to develop more on our technology. If we develop more, we are in the next level. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ayola Tolulope. I think both sectors are very, very important, and they have to work hand in hand together for the progress of our country. Thanks for believing in our vision. Do well to follow us on our social media platform, IG at prime_consolidate, our Twitter handle P_consolidate, then our YouTube channel Prime Consolidate, and do well to send us a message via WhatsApp on +23490 766 18354. Thank you.